Hey y'all, I am back with a whole nother video. Wow, I got all the drama going on in my real life. I was like, why not dive into the drama that we have for Married at First Sight, season 18, and today I'm going to be reviewing Karla and Waun. And I'm going to be saying all my thoughts on this couple. I'm going to be going deep diving this couple for today until next time I dive into other couples. So yep, stay tuned with me. So Karla and Waun, they are pretty much like very interesting to me. I don't know. I am very iffy about this couple. However, I do have to say that like Karla, she really stands out amongst all the women on this show. Like, I think Karla is like best dressed for this season. Karla just looks so put together. Her hair is put together. Everything is put together about Karla. And it's like, wow, like who is she? She is a whole different person. Karla is a whole different person. And I think Karla is like more high maintenance and Waun is like, he's not high maintenance. And I was watching this podcast. This podcast was named Little Black Book 91. And the podcast was basically saying how like, it's kind of a little bit of a red flag, how like Waun was telling Karla like, hey, look, I'm not going to be able to financially support you 100%. So like if you want $400 dinners, you're going to have to go and pay for them yourself and stuff like that. And then she was like, and then he was like, if you want to go on vacation, you're going to have to go alone or go by yourself or pay for that yourself. And then Karla was like, I want to go on vacation. I want to do things like, I'm an energetic person. I want to go do things. But then it was just like, Waun, you say that you're also an energetic person. Like you want to do things, but you don't want to financially support a woman. And I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like Karla's and Waun's energy was not matching up to like, Waun's energy was not matching up to him like financially, like, and just how he seems himself to like approach me when it comes to his business. He was saying that like at his job, he barely gets paid because his job barely pays him because of like a business. And most of the business goes to something, like a portion of the business goes to something. So he's only making like X amount of money. And so he basically says like, hey, look, like I'm not going to be able to afford your expensive stuff, Karla. And I think Karla just seems to be fine with that because Karla's like, you know what, it's fine. Which I mean, I would be fine with that too. Cause it's like, I don't see myself when it comes to a marriage. I don't see myself needing to support a man 100% financially, because it's just like I've had two parents who supported me financially 100% all my life. Why do I have to also then like make it a thing, make myself entitled to a man financially supporting me 100%? Because that's just going to make me a person where it's just like I always rely on my man for money and I'm never going to be able to support myself. So I think that's kind of fine between Karla and Waun. But then with Waun saying how like, I forgot about you, like when I was having my gathering with David because I was helping him mentally, and Karla goes, oh, like you forgot about me. And then Waun was like, I forgot about you. And then Karla, like, she kind of just felt a little bit upset at the table, and then she was being passive aggressive to Waun, being like, hey, look, like, this is what happens when you forget about something. Never forget about Karla, basically. And that was the title of the episode, like, never forget about Karla. And it was just as if, like, Karla was being passive-aggressive towards Waun, and I kind of like that. Simply because of the fact that it's just like, if you're gonna say something to me that's kind of just like a little bit blindsided, then like, why should I put my energy towards you? So then it's like, so then basically Karla, I loved Karla for doing this. I loved Karla for ignoring Waun in this part of the episode where like Waun had to bring his own bag or whatever like that. Waun like couldn't talk to Karla and Karla was just ignoring Waun. And so for me, it just goes to show that like, yeah, like if you say you forgot about me, I'm gonna forget about you too. And so I just loved it when Karla just completely just ignored Waun. But then I think when Waun and Karla were at the hotel before they were going to be leaving to go back to Chicago, Waun was like, oh, you're going to have to, we're going to have to communicate things. Like, you're going to have to communicate things for me. Like, most of the time, like, you're going to have to communicate when we get into certain situations, certain problems and whatnot. And so for me, it kind of was just like, for me, it kind of was just like, okay, yeah, like communication is fine, but it's just like when you hurt a woman sometimes, like by blindsiding them with your comments sometimes, a woman has the right to kind of be passive aggressive and like, take her space and not talk to you for a little bit because it's like she feels some type of way. And I think Karla had every right to do that. And then Waun was just like, oh, like you can't be passive aggressive to me, like you cannot be passive aggressive to me at all or whatever like that. And so for me, it's kind of just like, I mean, that was the way, like, she felt a certain way at the time when you were like, oh, I forgot about you, when Waun was hanging out with David. And then also, it seems as though, like, Waun, during this episode, he was spending more time with David than Karla. Like, I'm just like, so you didn't even did you have a courtesy to, like, spend equal time with David and Waun? Like, give some attention to, like, the friend, David, and then also, like, give some time to Karla, your wife, like, your future wife. Like, Waun just seemed all over the place with me. And, like, with the whole finances thing, I was watching a podcast where they were talking about how, like, sometimes, if a guy says, I can't really I can't support myself, or like I can't support this marriage together, it's giving that this is going to be leading to a big problem, because I've seen past like couples on like multiple dating shows where like they've ran into like financial situations, and they like were needing to like financially like rely on a woman for help. And I feel like that I'm afraid that like Waun is going to rely on Karla financially, but then I hear that like later episodes that like Karla quits her job. I believe like she quits her job, so I don't know if that's going to be a big deal in this season, but I hear some tea that like Karla quits her job. So it's just like, okay, with Waun not being really financially stable, and I think that like you need to be financially stable before you step into marriage. Like you should be financially stable before you step into a marriage. And for me, it just goes to show, it's just like, is this man like, is he ready for like to actually be a husband if like you don't have all your finances like in once like together, like you don't really have a real job that really pays you well? And I don't mean to go into his finances like that, but to me it was just a red flag when Waun was just like, oh, I can't financially support you if you want to go on vacation or have expensive $400 dinners. To me, I'm just like, I was kind of shocked, but I don't really expect men to financially support a woman. But like on social media, I be seeing a lot of like women, I be seeing a lot of men financially take care of the woman 100%. Like I see sometimes women don't even be paying for dinner. Like most of the time men pay for dinner, and then sometimes women will pay for dinner if like they want to like say thank you to the guy. And so, sorry, I thought I just heard something. But for me, it's just like, I feel like that Waun and Karla, they're not really traditional when it comes to like, like I think Karla, like, Waun, he wants like a 50-50. So I'm just hoping that like Karla continues to have that 50-50 mindset with Waun. Like, hey, my husband cannot financially support me, so I'm gonna have to pay for stuff myself, which to me is fine in a marriage. To me, that's fine in a marriage, because I feel like that, like, a man does not have to financially support a woman 100%, because it's just not fair to me. It's not fair. I know there's like arguments saying like, but women are on their period and stuff like that, so they go through birth and stuff like that, so like they deserve to be financially taken care of. But for me, it's just like, yeah, that too, but it's just like, okay, what about like when the woman is not on their period, when the woman is not going through birth? I don't think women are entitled to be having all the bills paid for. It's like, I mean, and I get it. The women usually like take care of the house most of the time. Okay, if the woman is taking care of the house most of the time, okay, then it makes sense. And like, taking care of the kids most of the time, then it makes sense that the guy pays for everything. But I feel like that if a man can't financially support a woman, that's okay. And I think that as a marriage, then you'll be like, I'm going to go 50-50. Like today, you take care of kids. Today I do this. Or today you drop off the kids and I do that. So I think it's a matter of that. I don't think in all situations, I don't think a woman is entitled to be financially supported 100%, or like, never paying a bill for dinner. never paying the light bill, never paying any bills. Like, I mean, and I've seen situations where women are like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fine with, you know, like paying just an office bill, but I'm not gonna pay for the bills in the house. I'm not gonna pay the mortgage. Like, I'm not gonna split this. I'm not gonna split that. So I think at the end of the day, it just goes to show that, like, if a man wants to financially support a woman, then so be it. But if a man cannot financially support a woman 100%, then y'all have to go figure something else out to make it fair, where, okay, you guys can go 50-50, just like, okay, now you're going 50-50 on kids. You're going 50-50 on, then also the man might as well also help with chores. The man might as well also then help with cleaning, cooking. Then it's like, okay, if we're going to go 50-50 on finances, let's go 50-50 on chores. Like, let's go 50-50 on everything, like doing chores around the house, helping out the kids. Let's go 50-50 on taking care of the kids. And when the woman is sick, okay, you know what, they get a day off, and the man takes care of everything. The man takes care of the bills. The man also then takes care of taking care of the kids. I think it goes that way. And when the woman's going through a period, okay, the man goes 100%, and the woman goes 0%. And I believe it's like, okay, the kids are taken care of by the father. And I think for me, that's how it is fair. So I mean, I think it's fine for Waun and Karla, you know, for Waun, you know, to be fine when it comes to like not being able to support Karla financially 100% when it comes to her dinner and vacations that she wants to do. So I mean, that's fine, I guess. But then I also kind of question it, where it's just like, okay, later on I hear some tea that, like, you know, Karla quits her job. So it's just like, okay, how will Waun react? Because then I hear in the previews, like, Waun is like, oh, Karla did an irresponsible thing by quitting her job. And so it's like, now how are you going to react? Now what? Now what are we doing? Now what are we up to? So that's my intake on that. I would say with the whole situation with, like, though, you forgot about me, you should never forget about your wife. Like, you should never forget about your wife. Like, when it comes to, like, okay, and I mean, okay, I get what Waun, I also do give Waun grace though, because it's just like, okay, he was trying to support David because David was mentally down based on how Michelle was treating him. You know, Waun wanted to be a good support. Waun wanted to be a very good support when it came to, like, you know, David's mental health and what he's going through in his marriage. So I think he was just trying to be a good friend. And then I think Waun, like, was too deep in when it came to, like, David's situation with the marriage as a friend, and then was like, wait, I need to go take care of my wife. Let me go set up a date with my wife. And so I think sometimes Karla takes things too far. I think Karla, like, she takes things very far. And, like, I think Karla's just very sensitive. Karla is extremely sensitive. Like, she just takes things, like, way too far. Like, she just gets up in her sleeves way too much. So for me, it's kind of just like, okay, for you to be acting like that now and very sensitive, it's like, are you really ready for marriage? Because the way how you were talking on the bus, it was just like, it was inappropriate. It was so inappropriate. And it's like, okay, so do I not have to, like, I don't know. I feel like the both of them, they just need to have, like, they need to go through a lot of communication. But when it comes to Karla, I think Karla's just really sensitive, and I could honestly feel her for that. But if she's very sensitive, then I feel like that at the end of the day, if you're very sensitive, then why not, like, you know, I don't know, if you're extremely sensitive, you need therapy. I think Karla just needs therapy. And I think Waun, like, I don't know, like, I think Karla and Waun both need therapy. Like, I feel like that Karla and Juan's communication is just very off. And with Karla, like, I think Karla is also sensitive. So it's like, I do kind of give Waun some grace, but it's like, okay, it kind of was really kind of upsetting for Waun to, like, you know, forget about Karla like that and be like, yeah, I kind of forgot about you. But I don't think Waun meant it in a way where it was just like, oh, I forgot about you as my wife, like, in a serious matter. Like, I don't think Waun meant it as, like, in a serious matter. I think when it comes for, like, Karla, it was a matter of just, like, for Karla, it's a matter of, like, I don't know. It's a matter of just her like, just, I think Karla's just a little bit weird. And I think Waun is not going to really go through with Karla in the marriage, because it's like the way how Karla, like, the way how she was talking on that bus last episode, on episode 5, and whatever she was saying about, like, Waun or whatever like that, it's just kind of just like, I feel as though she's a little bit neurodivergent. Like, she's a little bit neurodivergent. I don't know. She's a little bit neurodivergent. And she's weird, and she just has poor communication. And she's just afraid to communicate things with, like, you know, her partner. And she's sensitive. Like, I feel like that she's very, like, sensitive. You know, she just doesn't have her own identity. And I think she feels like that all she really has right now is, like, Waun when it comes to, like, you know, this whole process. I don't know. I think there's something a little bit wrong with Karla. I'm going to wait till next episode, because I do hear some major tea about Karla with next episode. I don't know. I hear some major tea with Karla next episode, but I think Karla and Waun are not going to work out. There's a lot of tea. Like, I think somebody burned something. So I'm going to stop right here on my recapping. I want to do, like, short videos on, like, Married at First Sight, because it's just, like, when I do longer videos, I sometimes, like, get distracted. And so, like, I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to stop right here so that it's not, like, too long where I'm just ranting to y'all and y'all get tired of me. So I'm going to stop right here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, follow my other social medias. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram as well. I'm gonna try to put it here. So try to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me on my social medias. Share this video with friends and families. And also hit the notification bell. And I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.